USC recruiting is on an absolute heater right now, and they are showing no signs of slowing down. This is on pace to be one of the greatest recruiting classes in the history of USC football. They have 22 commits and counting. Don't expect too many of these guys to decommit when they start taking their summer visits. The difference between this year's class and last year's class for USC is that they are locking down all of the local talent. For the last couple of years, they have struggled to secure some of the top talent from the best high schools in the area. Like Modern Day has been a historic pipeline for USC. But ever since Clay Helton took over and he got fired, that relationship between USC and Modern Day kind of eroded. It went a little bit sour, but that has been fixed with the recent commit of Tom Tom, and you got a few other big-time recruits from the area as well. And with them hiring a general manager, Lincoln Riley assembling an incredible staff, not just on defense, but this is also a great staff when it comes to recruiting. And right now, USC is all in. All of the local commits, they're all in on what Lincoln Riley is building. And with USC recruiting on fire right now, having the number one class, it looks like they very well are on their way to locking that down officially over the next couple of months. With all of the success that the Trojans are having on the recruiting trail right now, this shows why Lincoln Riley left Oklahoma for USC. He wanted to come to USC due to how easy it was to get all of the big-time recruits in this area to assemble a championship caliber football team. And if USC keeps up this recruiting momentum over the next 2-3 years, they don't have to have the number one class throughout that time. But if they can just stay in the top 5, top 10, they very well are going to position themselves not just to win the Big Ten championship, but to also get into the CFP and to get back to that level that USC used to be at during the golden era when Pete Carroll was down there in Los Angeles. And I expect this recruiting momentum to carry over into the season. Oftentimes with these recruits, it's not official until they sign on the dotted line, but I feel very strongly that we won't see USC having too many guys that go elsewhere. The bulk load of this class, most of these kids grew up watching USC football. They grew up a fan of this program, and they finally have a reason to stay home. That's all these guys need. These guys really don't want to leave LA where the weather's nice. It very seldomly gets cold to play at Notre Dame, Ohio State, Penn State, but they haven't been able to trust that they're going to receive the proper coaching and that they're going to be able to get developed for the next level. Well, now Lincoln Riley and this staff have these local commits buying in now. It's not just USC has a big bankroll and they can buy up everybody. Oregon has unlimited NIL cash. Phil Knight pretty much promised Dan Lanning, we can give you as much money as you want as long as you can bring us a championship. You saw Ohio State pay $20 million for last year's national championship team. Just because you have money just doesn't mean you can just buy up everybody. There's more to these recruits coming to USC than just being incentivized to do so. They want to be a part of something special. They want to be the group that truly brought back USC football. And Lincoln Riley, everywhere he's been, the dude has done nothing but win. And last year, USC was a few fourth quarter meltdowns away from finishing with possibly 9 or 10 wins. They ultimately finished with a 7-6 record, but you had some huge second half collapses like what you did against Penn State. Of course, we can't forget that debacle against Maryland, losing to Mike Locksley, but this momentum on the recruiting trail is going to carry over to USC having major success this season. When you start to see the stars align come recruiting, that normally also shows you that you have a coaching staff that is connected. this coaching staff that Lincoln Riley has put together is one of the best in college football. Dan Lynn is one of the best defensive coordinators in the game. He's a relentless recruiter as well. You also got an assistant like Doug Belt, who was a former finalist for the Jim Boyles Award. This is a program that right now they live, eat, breathe, and sleep recruiting, and they're going all out of trying to make sure that they keep all of the best in-area recruits from leaving out of the state. Last year, we saw Alabama come into the state of California and snag 3 of the top 5 highest-rated recruits out of this state. Lincoln Riley is making sure something like that never happens again. This is the reason why he did from Oklahoma to USC. He realized the potential that this program has when you're able to maximize the recruiting. And it's not just USC bringing in a bunch of local guys. Nationally, they picked up a few guys from Texas. They also have taken advantage of expanding into the Big Ten. They've also got a few really good recruits out of the area of Illinois. This is what you expect USC recruiting to look like when they're functioning on all cylinders, when you don't have any interference from the administration and everybody's bought in. To be a championship program, it's not always about having a great coach. It's not always about having the most stacked team. Everybody has to be on the same page from the top down, from the administration to the president of the university to the coaching staff to the players. And this is what you see out of USC right now. It's coming together beautifully, and I can't wait to see what the Trojans continue to do on the recruiting trail with the momentum that they continue to build. You would have expected at this point to see a few of these guys flip or decommit, but they're still holding true to their commitment, and that tells you a lot about how they feel the direction of this program is heading.